Hello. Trying to replace the EGR cooler on this 2017 Chevy Volt. There's no videos on how to do it on the internet that I know of, so I'm going to make one for anybody who wants to do it themselves. I don't think it really should be too hard. You'd have to take the catalytic converter out, but I'll let you know if it's a pain in the butt. So far, I've started to take this outer heat shield off. There's a bolt here, 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 one there, and one kind of around the bottom. I used a short 10mm wrench to get that one off. That's definitely the hardest one. I've got this oxygen sensor out. Couldn't get this one to come out, so I'm going to see if I take the actual EGR valve out of the way, if I can get this heat shield off with that just unplugged. I want to go ahead and take this upper EGR sensor off before I unbolt the top of the cooler, because I think it's going to be hard to get a wrench on that and wrench it off once this guy is flopping around. Give me 1 second. Broke it loose with a 17mm, and that should just unscrew, and I can get it out of the way. Now that that's off, you can see it's kind of dirty in there. I think there's 3 bolts holding the actual EGR valve on. One there, one, oh, you can barely see it, right there, hiding underneath it, and then one you can't see around the corner there. So I'm going to pop that off and get the EGR valve out of the way. Okay, so I took that last screw off and it kind of just fell down. I used a 10mm long deep socket with a short extension. You can see there is some coolant coming out here. So I guess be prepared for that. I didn't actually know that was going to happen. Whoa, whoa, oh Nelly. This bracket on my car is already loose because somebody's already replaced the valve. Is this held on with anything? Oh, I guess that's where that, I don't know if that's a vacuum line or if that's where the coolant was going, but give me 1 second to pop that line off. EGR valve is out. You can see somebody replaced this one because it's clean as a whistle. That or somebody cleaned it out once before, but it is a GM unit. And yes, that is a little tiny coolant line. I guess going down to the EGR cooler, up to this and into the block, I don't know. But regardless, I lost maybe half a cup of coolant, no big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and set this guy aside and we're gonna see about getting that heat shield out. Try to do this one-handed, but I might need to set the phone down. Still definitely kind of hung up on something. I'm gonna, gosh, that sucker is still bubbling coolant. We might have to top up when we're done here. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea because it's dribbling down. All right, I'll be back with you. Give me a second. I got it out. It's got some flex in it, and you really just have to kind of pull it straight up and out past that catalytic converter. It's gonna press against the fans, but I didn't damage anything. As far as I know, getting it back in is going to be interesting. But, you know, you can always bend these a little bit and bend them back into shape. I might end up doing that. Let me get that other heat shield off. Give me a second. Okay, I got that other heat shield off. There's the part down there. You can see that there's really no way to get it out without pulling this stupid catalytic converter. They gave me this section of hose. Here's my new part. Ain't she pretty? They gave me this section of hose, but I'm gonna try to connect it there so I don't have to try to get back in there. Get my flashlight. Because that looks like it'd be a pain. And it's all plastic too. I don't want to break that. I do realize now that I'm probably almost definitely, certainly gonna have to put the car on ramps and unbolt that from the underside. That catalytic converter does not just come out the top. That'd be too easy. Let me go grab some ramps and I'll see you guys underneath the car. Hey guys, I'm underneath the car. Good news is those are the bolts for the catalytic converter there and there. I don't have to pull any splash guards, although my splash guard looks pretty interesting. I don't know if there used to be a splash guard there and there's just not now. But, you know, there it is. So that's good. It's not going to be too bad, I don't think. Give me 1 second to pull that off and I'll meet you back up top side. Okay, those two bottom 13 millimeters are off. And you got to get these 4 13s up here that are holding catalytic converter on. Give me a second. Hey, I'm back underneath the car again. Turns out there's another bolt right there you gotta get. And it's still dripping coolant, which is crazy. Give me a second. Hey guys, I'm underneath the car again. So, there's a bolt there. It's like a bracket holding the, supporting the weight of the catalytic converter. I'm gonna need a couple of extensions. I'll tell you what size it is. Looks like a 15 to me, but I'll confirm. Hey guys, I'm underneath the car again. There's another one that I didn't see right there. Look at the flashlight on it. Right there. They're all 13 underneath here. Everything is 13. Last bolt, hopefully, be on set. All right, she's out. To summarize, you got 4 bolts in the bottom. Those are all 13. You got a support here, and the 4 bolts at the top. I think that's just for the heat shield. And then she's out. Super easy. Now, it's just a matter of getting this guy out, which shouldn't be a problem. I got so much room in here now. Oh my goodness, look how nice. All the room in the world. All right, I'm working on him and getting it out next. Give me 1 second. All right, to get this off, you can actually see what I can't see. There's a 10 millimeter bolt there, 10 millimeter bolt there, and then 2 on this flange. And I just want you to see the way I'm getting this one off is I've got a short extension going to a short 10 millimeter. I'm just gonna be able to buzz that right off, do the rest of it by hand so that I don't drop anything. It's got rubber inserts, I think, that hold these guys in place. There it goes. All right, I'll get that out and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, I got the old one out. There are actually 3 hoses connected, one there, there, and there. And it looks like you're gonna have to put coolant in it because, especially when I took those hoses off, lost a ton of coolant. So just be prepared for that. But other than that, I'm in pretty good shape. Just gotta put the new one in. You can see there. It's pretty sooty in there. It doesn't look like obviously horribly clogged, but there's the old one. Okay, it's in. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. I reused that gasket. Hopefully that will be okay. It did come with a new gasket for the upper part. I did also pull this sensor out and clean it up a little bit. I think it's just a temperature sensor, but it was a little gunky. And now we're going to put that catalytic converter back in. And it's just a matter of putting everything back together the way it came apart. So we'll get the cat in position. And we'll go from there. So I was having a hard time getting the catalytic converter holes to line up here. They were just a little bit too high, the holes were. So what I did is I've loosened the bolts on this bracket down here. It's just these 2 bolts. They're really barely tight. And hopefully that'll give me enough play to get that lined up. And then we can just go up underneath it and tighten it down and we'll be good to go. Okay, that worked. I'm just going to try to get down in there with my little 13 and get that one right there. The other one, and all the other bolts obviously, can be accessed from underneath the car. That's the only one I don't think I can really get to from underneath there, so I'm gonna try to get from up here. Okay, it's all buttoned up. I mean, for the most part, actually. I haven't put this heat shield on yet because I just started it up to test run it and make sure it didn't have an exhaust leak. It took about half a gallon of coolant. And we're going to see if this fixes my insufficient flow code. Alright, it's all buttoned up. Heat shields are all back on. Coolant is stabilized. I think it has a kind of self-burping system. I didn't have to burp it that much. I tried, but didn't get any air out of it. And it seemed like it used, I'm just eyeballing what came out, seemed like about half a gallon, and it drank a full half gallon, so I'm not too worried about air bubbles. Hopefully you found this helpful. It's not a hard job. car dealership wanted $1,800 to do it for me. And it actually, this didn't fix my insufficient flow code. My EGR really, the cooler didn't seem that plugged up to me. And my check engine light, unfortunately, is still on. So that would have been $1,800 down the drain on a EGR cooler that I didn't really need. But again, hopefully this will help you. I encourage you to take this job on if you are moderately handy. It's not that bad. Be careful with the gaskets for the exhaust systems because they're sharp. That's the only thing that cut me up real bad. Other than that, just about does it. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.